So we'll start by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So I think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. And try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning. But we also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. And we begin to move our attention inward away from the external world, just allowing sights and sounds, smells and sensations to be as they are without investigation, constraining that awareness just to the body and mind. Beginning to concentrate that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation that accompanies the in breath and the out breath in the area around the opening of the nostrils, giving ourselves the instruction to notice quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind. And then, without judgment or frustration, to lift our awareness up from those distractions and place it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then, when the mind feels more calm, we'll generate a broad, altruistic motivation for our time, taking a moment to reflect on the condition of all sentient beings, their deep wish to be free of even the slightest negativity, their deep wish to be experiencing only happiness. Oneself and every other sentient being share those same basic motivations. And yet every sentient being finds themselves meeting with obstacles, painful conditions, never feeling, never feeling truly satisfied, completely content. The mind always agitated. Oneself and all sentient beings also share that reality. So think of the ways in which sentient beings do meet with those difficulties. All of the sufferings of the different realms. And think that all of these suffering sentient beings have been incredibly kind to oneself over and over since beginningless time. Finding it unbearable that sentient beings, kind, mother sentient beings, are experiencing these sufferings without choice. Wanting to work to alleviate that suffering, to establish sentient beings in a state of perfect happiness, perfect peace, and recognizing that that depends upon the capacity of one's own mind. So wanting to use this time to grow that capacity, to unlock one's own potential, to be of eventually limitless benefit to sentient beings. And with that motivation, today we will conclude looking at those mental preconditions, the factors in the mind that, when they're present, they can make it more likely that afflicted states will arise. So, the next factor that we will examine are our emotional habit patterns. You can think when my mind becomes more quiet in meditation, what typically arises as distraction? Is it typically an object of attachment? Is it typically an object of aversion? Are there commonalities in what I am triggered into being drawn into? And in my daily life, what kind of habits of speech, of mind are present? What sensitivities do we have? Are we often triggered by comments about particular aspects of the body or mind? What is it that we need other people to see? What patterns can I identify? Are there certain predispositions that seem stronger than others? if we can generate some insight into our habits, do we have a sense of what the antidotes to these drives, these predispositions are? If we think that we might struggle with being short tempered or needing to be in control or needing to be seen in a particular way, do we know how to skillfully work with these tendencies, these habits in the mind? If you can think of these skillful approaches, then be determined to put them into practice. And if not, then be resolved to learn more about how to reduce those problematic habits in the mind. And then we'll look at the role of inappropriate attention. So we think about our tendency to attend to the aspect of a situation or an object in ways that will trigger aversion or attachment, either by only attending to what we perceive to be their negative or their positive aspects. How often do we experience a difficult situation as entirely negative in a way that gives rise to aversion. And how often do we tend to experience something pleasant as entirely pleasant, as if there were no downsides? We often focus on just those aspects. Think back over the last couple of weeks, picking one or two pleasant situations and one or two challenging situations. And think about how balanced the mind was, or how imbalanced the mind was. What role did inappropriate attention play in how you experienced those circumstances? Reflect on how often we look at situations through the lens of only our own desires versus how often we take into consideration the needs and concerns of others. And again, bring to mind what steps you're able to take to begin to see things holistically, to reduce that tendency to attend only to what seem like positive or negative aspects. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has generated positive energy in the mind. And think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy, for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking strongly when that positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment so that I might work perfectly for the benefit of sentient beings. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. And may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.